Are you self-conscious about how your wide toe box shoes look, but you still want the benefits of minimalist footwear? Then FieldGrounds is the brand for you. On a mission to make barefoot shoes cool, they've disguised their foot-healthy shoes by taking inspiration from the likes of Nike and Vans, trying to hide the dorky look of shoes that are actually shaped like feet. Today we focus on their take on the classic canvas sneaker as we review the FieldGrounds Highrise and Original knits. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Sons of Sever YouTube channel, where there's no such thing as bad weather, only bad gear. Today, my brother Chris and I are bringing you another review of a barefoot sneaker. This is the FieldGrounds knit. So one thing that might have brought you to this channel is the search for a barefoot alternative to your Chuck Taylors or your Vans. Those shoes are great and they have a lot of staying power in the industry, but they're probably not the best for your feet because of their pointy shapes. So we've been on the lookout for the best summer shoe that we can that can replace those, and today we're talking about these knits, which if you look at them really do provide that aesthetic for you. They look like a classic canvas sneaker, but they do give you barefoot qualities. So we are super stoked about these. There are timestamps down in the description. Feel free to go and jump ahead to different parts of the video if you'd like to, but I'm going to send it over to Chris now to start us off with his likes of the shoe.
Kicking off my likes of the Highrise knit, for me, the first thing I'm going to talk about is the toe box width. Now, this is going to be a subjective thing. Everybody's feet are different widths, but if you watched our review of the Splay slip-on, you will have seen that I actually measured the toe boxes of a couple different shoes, from Splays and Biancas on the widest side to Vivo Barefoot on the narrowest side. The FieldGrounds knit was also in that grouping, and it was in the middle of that group. So it's not the widest toe box out there, but it is wide enough for me and my toes. I can wear toe spacers with it and my toes don't rub against the outside edges. And you're gonna find the toe boxes in FieldGrounds shoes consistent across all their shoes. They don't have narrower or wider. It's all one shape for the most part. I am a big fan of their shape, and I'm a big fan of their width. The next thing I want to talk about that I like about this shoe is the sole, and I like it in multiple ways. First of all, I love the flexibility and the minimalism of the 5mm stack height. I also love the grip. I think it performs really well. I don't think the grip pattern is anything super special, but I think one of the reasons why it performs so well with grip is the materials that they use. It is a little bit of a softer, spongier kind of rubber. Not too spongy to the point where you think it might tear up on you. They actually just updated the sole materials on all of their shoes. So same patterns, same stack heights, but new materials. And that was because they were having durability issues before. I'm assuming that rubber was really, really soft beforehand. Now it definitely seems a little bit on the more sturdy side, still a little bit of give to it, which is gonna give it those gripping qualities. So I love the sole and I love the width, and those things are gonna lend itself well to lifting weights. I was actually turned on to this shoe by Squat University. The guy who runs that channel did a video about the barefoot shoes he recommends for functional movement, him being a physical therapist, so he likes to talk about optimal biomechanics. He used this shoe as a specific example of a shoe that he wears to work each day. Not only does it look professional enough for him as a physical therapist, if he has to demonstrate any movements throughout the day, which I'm sure he does quite often, this shoe's not gonna hold him back at all. Because of all the really good barefoot qualities, the flexibility, the flatness, the width of the toe box, those things are all gonna lend themselves well to heavy squats, heavy deadlifts, overhead presses, even reverse lunges with how good the grip on the bottom does. This is gonna do really well for those kinds of stationary lifts. Obviously, don't wear this for cardio. It's not a running shoe. You're not gonna wanna wear it for that. You can, but I wouldn't. It's optimized for casual wear, and I find that it does a really good job in that. With that grip, it's fantastic for chasing my kids around on the playground or going out longboarding or other things, just walking around the town. The flexibility, the width of the toe box, and the zero drop also make sure that my feet are healthy all day long while wearing it. With all my likes out of the way, now I'm going to pass things over to Eric to talk about what he likes about the low ankle knit.
Alright, when it comes to my likes of the FieldGrounds knit, I got the low rise version that you can see here. I really like how this shoe looks. This is a great replacement for your classic canvas sneaker. I just think that they made this thing to look really, really nice. And that's kind of FeelGrounds' thing. If you look on their website, there's somewhere that says, let's make barefoot shoes cool. So I think that style for them is a really big deal. And that'll come with its caveats that we'll talk about in the dislikes. But I really like how it's constructed as well. If you can see there's some side stitching on the sole. So I really appreciate that there's a little bit added durability to this shoe that a lot of barefoot brands that are making sneakers like this don't do. And then love it or hate it, this material that it's made out of is really, really nice. It's made out of recycled plastics, and be that as it may, it's really soft and it's really just nice to put your foot into. This is a pretty comfortable feeling upper, one of the more comfortable ones of the shoes that we've gotten. I also really like the outsole on this thing. It's a nice soft rubber that I found to be pretty grippy, and I like that it wraps up a little bit onto the upper of the shoe. If you saw a review on the Barefoot Ursa, that outsole doesn't do that at all. I think what it does is it gives it a little bit of extra protection so that you can use it for things like biking and longboarding and going out and doing like light hikes and stuff. So just the fact that it has that protection around the toe, that it's that piece of rubber right there, is something that I like about the shoe. First affiliate that I'm going to mention is FeelGrounds. We really like their shoes so far. We've reviewed 2 pairs now, if you're including this video right here, but over the winter we got their Patrol Winter Barefoot boot, and it was hands down the warmest boot that we got to try out all winter long, so it was really nice for those cold days. And then with these knits, we really love the way that they look. FeelGrounds is on a mission, like we mentioned before, to make barefoot shoes cool, and we think that they are doing a great job with that. These look like normal shoes, but they have amazing barefoot or minimalist qualities that let your foot function the way that they're supposed to.
Are you looking to take your barefoot shoe experience to another level? Then you're going to need a solid pair of toe socks that lets you take advantage of all that toe box. We love Creeper's Toe Socks, a sock that beat out 6 other toe sock brands in a comparison video we did that you can see through the card up in the corner. Whether it's cold or hot, whether you're hiking, running, or lounging, Creeper's Toe Socks will ensure that your feet stay comfy, dry, and healthy. If you're interested in checking out Creepers, head down to the link in the description and use our discount code to save yourself 15% off at checkout. I've only got one dislike of this shoe that I'm going to bring up. Eric's going to bring up some others that I pretty much across the board agree with. So the one that I want to talk about that is unique from his list is going to be the construction of the shoe. It is a 100% or at least very close to 100% recycled construction. The reason why I don't like that, even though it's environmentally friendly, that's great. I think it is important for us to recycle materials where we can. I don't want recycled materials in anything that I'm going to wear. Now, that being said, on the website it mentions that all the materials and dyes are tested to EU REACH standards. So I'm assuming that means that all the things that this is made of are optimally non-toxic to you. But I personally am going to try to optimize as much as I can for wearing more natural materials. I would love to see a future knit and high-rise knit made of cotton canvas. I think that would be really cool. I think it would do really well. I think the durability would be there, and it would give me a little bit more peace of mind, especially when it comes to wearing man-made materials on hot, sweaty areas of your body, your head, your hands, your feet. I want to, as much as I can, lean more towards natural materials. So that's my dislike of the shoe. You don't have to agree with it. That is okay. I'm going to give you my final opinion when I give the outro. But for now, I'm going to pass things over to Eric to talk about his dislikes of the FieldGrounds knit.
Alright, when it comes to my dislikes of the FeelGrounds knit shoe, the first thing that I'll say is that it's not quite wide enough for me. And my feet aren't the widest, so these definitely don't have the widest toe boxes, and I think that comes with the territory of them designing this shoe to look as good as possible. They want barefoot shoes not to be dorky. And in doing so, I think that they made the toe box just a little bit too thin. So something that happens to me with the shoe is where these two pieces of material are stitched together, I can feel that on the side of my foot. And if the shoe was just a little bit wider, then I wouldn't be able to feel that. Another thing that kind of bugged me with these is that they don't come with an insole. I didn't notice that on the website, so the first time that I put them on,
I was kind of confused. I was like, why do these things feel so hard under my foot? And it's because there's no insole in them. And the reason that bothers me is because they're already $110. So they're a little bit more expensive than other shoes that are in this category. And to be $110, but you also have to buy a $12 to $15 insole with it, that just kind of put me off a little bit. So lucky for me, I had my insole from the Patrol Winter, and it fits in there perfectly, and I really like this insole. It's just enough squish for me. I think it's 3 millimeters, so not too much there, no frills. And I can slip it in here, and then it's a very comfortable shoe for me underfoot. But I do think that that's a little bit cheap, that the shoe costs $110 and then doesn't even come with its own insoles.
My final opinion of the Highrise knit is I'd highly recommend it. I think that if you've been looking at this shoe, you've been looking for something like this that has these kinds of features. There's a handful of companies that make similar offerings to this. This is probably the one that you should go with. Head down to the link in the description and go grab yourself a pair of the FieldGrounds knits or the Highrise knits. I think you'll really like them. The barefoot features are fantastic, and I think it's a dang good looking shoe. Folks, if you liked this video, we would appreciate it if you would like and subscribe. As always, there's links down in the description that will take you to barefoot shoes and other outdoor and adventure gear. If we have discount codes for those companies, those will be down in the description with those links. We'd love it if you would join us on Patreon. That is where we are posting all of our most up close and personal behind the scenes content, like first impressions videos of products right after we unbox them. There is a first impressions video of the Blanca York up on the Patreon right now that is free to view for anyone. All future first impressions videos will be behind the paywall. Luckily, that paywall is only $1 a month. So if you're interested, go down to the link and go check out our Patreon. We'd love it if you would follow along with us on Instagram, where we are constantly doing unboxing videos of the products that we're going to be working with in the future. And join us on Strava, which is a really cool social media platform where you can post about your activity, your jogs, your hikes, your paddleboarding, your weightlifting. All of those things can be tracked and posted about on Strava. Follow us, we'll follow you back, and you can see all of the gear that we're using as we're doing those activities. We're glad you're here. We appreciate your view. And as always, we will catch you in the mountains.